What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Not Today. I'm Jen Sturger.
Eddie Pence.
Eddie, I am so heated.
Why?
Dude.
Like piping hot?
I'm
mad as the wind?
I'm coming in hot. I'm coming in hot today.
Super aggro?
I can't.
What happened? What happened?
I'm in a bit of a pickle right now. I'm in a bit of a predicament because I'm really, really torn. You've been married to Tracy for forever.
20 years.
Just forever.
20, yeah, fucking
It's
forever.
Forever.
For goddamn ever.
So, but I'm sure you might have dealt with this.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend who's like one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
That is in a relationship with someone that has systematically gone around and like damaged all of her friendships with other people.
Is it to isolate her?
Yes.
Ooh.
And she doesn't see it.
Ew.
I'm trying. What's happening right now in my friend group?
Okay.
Is I'm basically trying to rescue a friend from a cult of one.
Okay.
And she does not see what's happening.
At all?
She just says that it's personality conflicts. But I'm like, if we're all having a conflict with the same person, there's a common denominator.
So he's going around trying to ruin all of her relationships.
He's
with
not
all of her
trying.
friends.
He's doing it successfully.
How's he doing it? Like, what's he doing to ruin a relationship with two friends?
Sometimes he hires them to like work for his company and then something goes sideways. And so he ends up like having a big fight with them and then firing them. Other times he's just very condescending and like he doesn't know how to, he has no interpersonal skills at all.
He's making your friend choose between her friend and him.
Yes.
And so she's choosing him every time.
And it's
and now it's your turn in the barrel.
And it's not my turn in the barrel. I, for whatever reason, have always been appointed like the group bouncer. I am like the group.
You're the chick in the dance circle that keeps the dudes out.
Yes. Yes. Oh, 1,000,000%. That was my role all through college. Eddie, I shit you not. I remember this one time I was out at a club with girlfriends and this guy kept trying to like come up behind my friends and like grind on them. And finally I just went, excuse me guys. And I turned around and I did like the thing where you like shake your hands and I go, I've got knives in my hands. And I went like, I was the friend. Like I was the bouncer, you know,
You were that girl.
I was this, yeah.
Yeah.
I was
We all know that girl.
Yeah. Guys don't like that girl at all.
No, she's rough. She's a rough one to get close to.
Yeah. But I have softened in my old age.
Sure.
And I have learned vulnerability. But I've also, I just have this thing where I'm very protective of my friends.
Okay.
I'm very protective of my friends. I'm very protective of people that I feel like are vulnerable people.
Right.
Because it's just a part of my personality, you know? And right now, like the friends all kind of came to me and they were like, help us, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right.
You're our only hope.
You got to do something.
Yeah, you've got to do something.
We need a cleaner. We need a fixer.
The whole, like everything, the fate, what is it? The fate of the resistance is on my shoulders.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
You're the spark that's going to light the fire that feeds the rebellion.
Yes.
Or whatever.
I am that person. They came to me and they were like, Jen, you are the one person we think that can stand up to this idiot.
Okay.
Or can rationalize with this idiot. And that's where we made a mistake.
Okay.
Is thinking that we could rationalize with the irrational.
Okay. Did you go in thinking you could do this, or did you have your like, okay, I don't know, this is gonna be tougher than you guys think it's gonna be?
I tried to put things aside. I was like, hey, what if we just all like get a group together and we go bowling? I was like, what if we go bowling?
Okay.
What if we have some kind of a casual hang and we let some kind of conversation happen casually and naturally, and he sees I'm not a threat.
You,
whatever.
the other girls, him and the girl,
and friends, like a group of friends, a small group of friends.
Okay.
Let's all go.
Okay.
But every time we hang, every time we've gotten together, he's that dude that sits there with a sourpuss look on his face, like he doesn't want to be.
Is he an introvert? Is he just not want to be social?
No. Here's the thing. He is a recovering alcoholic.
Okay.
He's a recovering addict.
Well, that can be a thing.
But it can't.
With groups,
it should not be your
social settings.
It should not be your personality.
Right. But if you go if you go bowling and everybody's drinking or whatever, it could put him in the mood.
Dude, I don't drink.
Right.
I don't party. You don't drink. You don't party.
But
And
most people do.
You don't become a piece of the furniture when you go somewhere
Sometimes
and not talk to people.
Sometimes I do. Yeah.
But that's because usually when stuff's getting off the rails and then you find a way out.
Yeah. I just don't want to be there.
But you aren't a miserable person.
No, I'm not a miserable. You can come talk to me and I'll be cordial. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk to you.
You aren't party guy.
No.
You aren't super fun guy.
No, I'm not going to be the life of the party because
this is the exact opposite. This is like sitting there with a terrible look on your face and like just not wanting to be there.
No.
And making
especially you're bowling. Fuck. Bowling's
and making
fun.
everything about you.
Yeah.
Like you can't talk to this dude about anything. His whole personality is I've been sober for 30 months and I like
so he's a relatively
and I like smoking meats.
Hey yo.
So his new addiction is smoking meats.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing.
He's traded alcohol for barbecue.
I have been around people who have substance abuse issues. I have been around people who,
we're in LA.
who get into recovery.
Yeah.
And I've been around people who have been in recovery very successfully for a very long time. And they don't make it their personality.
They don't smoke meats.
And one thing that I do notice is they also don't weaponize their recovery. You know? You know what I mean when I say that?
Yeah.
They don't make it like, oh, I'm in recovery, so now I'm a better person than you.
Right.
It's like, no, dude, you're in recovery, which means you're back to normal.
Yeah. You're working to be a better person.
Yeah. You're back to normal.
Yeah.
And so I've run this scenario by my friends that have been in recovery. And I was like, hey, how do I handle this?
Right.
You know?
What did they say?
And I was like, because I don't want to minimize his journey, but I also don't want him to use it as a crutch to be terrible to people.
Sure.
And I do feel that just because you put down substances, it doesn't necessarily get rid of the behaviors that cause the substances to be there in the first place.
I mean, could he be someone?
Like addicts have addict behavior. Like you've been around people who have addictions and in comedy all the time.
Oh yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
We have lost very good friends and good people to addictions in comedy.
Yeah.
You know, like tragic tales of people who were so loved in the community and so fucking funny and had such bright futures and they could not get clean and they could not help themselves. And there were behaviors that even when they got clean, the addict behavior was still there.
Well, because it's hard. Once you're an addict, you're always an addict. You have to deal with that forever, no matter whether you're off it or not. You're still an addict, and you're going to be an addict to something at some point.
It's just knowing that you have that tendency in your personality.
Right. But maybe that's part of the personality that drove them to addiction to begin with. Is there's some flaw or some hole in them that they can't seem to fill and make right with the world that they're in. That they have to. And now that he doesn't have the outlet of alcohol or drugs or whatever made him feel comfortable in the world, now he just doesn't know how to interact with people.
Yeah, but I've run this scenario and what happened by a bunch of people that I trust. And I got asked to have a conversation before we went bowling with this person.
Okay.
Like my friend was like, hey, my boyfriend would really like to call you and just chat with you before. And I was like, yeah, sure. Anything for you. I was getting on this phone call for her.
And why does he want to chat with you? Because he knows you're the bouncer?
I still don't know what the purpose of the call was.
That's weird.
He and I had a weird interaction about a year ago when I was contemplating doing something big career-wise. But there might have been like social and career ramifications in doing this project. I ended up doing the project. It's going to come out in May. You guys will see some announcements about it, I'm sure. But it was a very big and a very emotional project for me, to work on. And my friend had insisted like, oh, my boyfriend had something similar happen to him. He might be a good sounding board for you. So he and I had a phone call about it. And when I say it was probably the worst phone call I've ever, like the least self-aware phone call I've ever been on.
Okay.
Where a cis white man tried to make his situation that was nothing remotely like mine.
Right.
Into something that was like what happened to me in 2010.
Right.
I was just like, oh, you are part of the problem right now. You are a part of this subsect of men.
So he's telling you what
acting super wounded in society right now and thinking you can run around being an asshole, calling it authentic and using mental health catchphrases. So he and I had a really weird conversation about a year ago and we never addressed it since. I was like, thank you for your time. This has been not helpful. Plus he tried to sell me on like letting him, he works in production, like letting him tell my story And I was like, you have not shown emotional awareness this entire call. Why would I give you access to some of my
Why
most
would you let you
vulnerable,
handle my story?
one of my most vulnerable moments,
Right.
one of my most heart-wrenching moments in my life? Why would I let you help me tell that story?
Do you think he's aware of what he does and how he behaves, or is he manipulating people, or is he just not aware of what's going on? And this is just who
I think he
is?
comes on and offline knowing what he's doing. And when I had this phone call with him the other day,
Yeah.
I made it abundantly clear that I knew what he was doing.
Okay.
Which apparently
How'd that go over?
it didn't go well. Apparently, when you tell people what they're doing and you kind of like break it down for them in bite-sized morsels to show that you understand their manipulation process, they don't like that.
Yeah. Was it more of like,
I'm
what
learning,
are you talking about?
I'm
Or was
learning.
it,
I'm learning. Not well. I'm learning. I just don't, my brain doesn't work like this.
Yeah.
It truly doesn't. Like, I don't understand when people act this way or super manipulative. I'm like, what's the purpose? Like, why would you act this way? And I don't understand it so much that, Eddie, I shit you not, I'm literally reading a book called Gladiators and Pirates.
That sounds cool.
But it's not.
Oh.
It's about game theory and about understanding like
board games?
No,
D&D?
like life game theory.
Oh, life game board.
Yeah, life game theory, because I don't understand
Gladiators
people
and
who do
pirates.
manipulative things, or I don't understand when people backstab. I mean, I actually asked myself, I go, why would this person act that way?
Right.
And it's like survival, Jen. It's like a survival instinct kicks in.
Is this person a gladiator or a pirate? Is it break down people two categories of gladiators or pirates?
I don't know. I just started the book,
I really
so
want to know.
I'm definitely gonna be talking about it.
Are we just gladiators and pirates going through the world?
Yeah. Are you a pirate?
Or a gladiator?
Are you pillaging?
Or what's
a gladiator? Are you fighting for something? I don't know. I'm getting into it still.
I'm very curious.
Oh,
read
trust
this book.
me. I will give you a book report when I'm done with it.
I don't want to be a pirate.
I don't want to be a pirate either. But it just explains just some people are, it's kind of like the whole concept. People are givers and people are takers.
Sure.
And he is a taker.
Okay.
And I'm a giver. And my friend is a giver.
Pirates are takers.
Pirates are takers,
so
for
I guess
sure.
he's a pirate.
He's a pirate.
All right.
So anyways, I'm on the phone call with this pirate. We'll call him Jack. We'll give him, so that way I'm not just being like, this person.
No, it's Jack.
So I'm on
Captain
the call
Jack.
So I'm on the call with Captain Jack.
Okay.
And I'm like, hey, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think, and he starts yelling at me.
Okay. Well, that's weird.
He's yelling at me, raising his voice at me. And I asked him 3 times and I said, hey, you don't have to talk to me like that. The minute you raise your voice, dude, I stop. My brain goes offline. I don't care. I don't even care what you're saying. I don't hear what you're saying.
Right.
I'm like, it's not effective. It's not an effective communication strategy.
Okay.
And that's what I told him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need you to not yell at me. And he goes, you can't tell me how to talk to you. And I said, you're right. I said, I can tell you what I will accept. And if you can't meet those needs, I can get off this call.
No.
I was like, it's a boundary. And I said,
Right.
and I don't think you're used to people setting them with you.
Mm.
And
how'd he take that?
not well. Not well at all. But like, I just kind of had to put my foot down.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I'm not.
Did it get productive after that or no?
No.
No.
Exact opposite.
So it just deteriorated.
He would keep talking over me. He'd make snide remarks.
Sounds like a cool dude.
This is a manipulation tactic. And what this tactic does is it creates something called reactive abuse.
Okay.
Because eventually the person that they're doing it to snaps and yells at the other person.
Right.
So now all that time of you asking them to stop yelling,
Now
they
you're
go,
yelling.
They go, Jen, it sounds like, he goes, Jen, it sounds like you need to take your own advice. And I said, no, Jack, what just happened is something called reactive abuse. And I said, you brought me to this level and you kept pushing me, trying to get me to do this so that you can go, see, look how emotional and crazy she is.
Right.
I said, your shit does not work on me, man. It doesn't.
Wow.
And I kept telling him, I go, I'm only on this call for my friend. I'm like, I was like, what was the purpose of this call? Because I thought it was for us to squash this, find some middle ground and figure out where the disconnect is and why everybody is like so against you in our friend group. Because no one wants to deal with him. When he fired one of the friends in our friend group, you know what he said?
What?
He told her, what don't you understand? I am God.
Ew. No. You're a pirate. You're not God. You're a pirate.
You're like, Captain Jack's a dick.
Captain Jack is not a god. So why does your friend, what does your friend see in this dude?
Because he doesn't do it to her. Allegedly.
He has to.
I know.
He's got to be doing something.
I know. He has to be doing something. I have warned this friend numerous times that this was the problem. I have called every move this guy has made. I did tell him that. He pushed me so hard. I was like, I've called every mood you made, dude. I've called your shot every single time. I am the Eagles defense. I am stuffing your ass left and right.
You got 34 yards in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're not playing anything on me, dude. You're not.
Wow. That's crazy.
And I finally told him, I said, if you want to continue this conversation, you should call your girlfriend and get her on three-way call. She needs to hear this phone call.
And he was okay with that?
He called her.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of silence on the phone. So I'm sure he was like giving her the breakdown and being like, Jen's being super.
Oh, so it took a minute for him to connect you into the three-way.
Yeah. I'm sure he had to give her, I'm sure he had to get her caught up to speed.
Just give him a lot of pirate instructions.
Yeah. Like, here's what's happening. You know? Arr. And
wow.
And so he starts doing the same thing to me again in front of her because he can't help himself. He cannot help himself.
Right.
And so then I started saying, hey, dude, you're doing this thing that's like really common for people who are like really manipulative or have like MPD.
Right.
Where I go, you try to decenter the person, you devalue the person. And I'm like, and then you gaslight the person and try to install a new narrative.
Okay.
And I said, so I'm going to point out to you and to Stacy every time you try to take one of these tactics with me. And so every time he would start doing something manipulative, I'd be like, gaslighting. I'd be like, devaluing. Blah, blah, blah.
How was he taking that?
Not well. But I'm done with these type of people, dude.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know if they know that they're doing it or if they're blissfully unaware.
I think it's just over time. That's how they've learned to, that's how they form the relationship. So that's just naturally how they form the relationships with people. I would imagine, because you can't be, if you're doing all that on purpose, your level of intelligence has to be so high that you're manipulating people at that level intentionally.
So he's not manipulating me. But at the end of the call,
that's why I think that's just how he forms relationships, and he can't do that with you. So he doesn't know, his brain short circuiting because like, this works with everybody else. Why isn't it working with you?
So at the end of the call, he says, Jen, I think you're just doing to me what you did to the last guy you dated. And he brings in my personal life.
Oh,
which is like a huge no-no.
Yeah.
You don't bring in some outside factor that was clearly like my friend talking about my personal life to him as like bedroom talk. Like I'm sure Tracy comes to you and talks about her friends and her and things that are going on in her social circle, and you guys talk about it as a couple.
We
and
don't
like
really
a
have
sounding
social
board.
circles
But you know what I mean,
right? Yeah.
Like couples do that. They'll be like, "Oh man, did you hear what happened with like the so and so's?"
Yeah.
And like, "Oh,
no,
and
we
this
have
and this and this."
yes.
And like,
you have a little you have a dialogue between your spouse that you don't share with everybody else,
and that is privileged information.
Yeah, that's in the vault.
And
so
he took that and just lit it on fire like a Molotov cocktail and like threw it into the conversation.
Right.
Like my personal life.
Right. Well, that was his like, all right, well, I'm fucking firing all the missiles right now.
Yeah. And I was like, bingo. And it's so interesting. I was in the pirate book.
I have to read this pirate book.
I'll send it to you.
I have to know.
But
I have to be
but one of the things that I thought was interesting is like this is something that I study just because like I don't understand these type of social interactions, and they really decenter me and they really knock me off.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I found really helpful was they were like, you can't give people your psychological passwords.
Right.
Like you can't, these type of people are not people that you want to build like vulnerability with and be like, and tell them anything too personal about yourself.
Right.
Because they will use it in this type of way where they weaponize it against you.
Okay. Makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Where they're like, hey, I know where your triggers are and I'm going to do this to you now. And that's exactly what he did.
Wow.
What's crazy though is I was like, I said, you know what, Captain Jack? I was like, you're right. I am doing to you what I did to the last guy I dated because you are the exact same person.
Oh.
And I said, goodbye. And I hung up the phone.
Wow.
And
have you heard anything since?
No.
Okay.
My friend tried to call me later that day, but I was working and I didn't have the capacity to deal with it.
Well,
or
this
stop
isn't
down
part
and
of
deal
your
with it.
fucking life. It
It's
shouldn't be part of your life.
My problem.
Yeah.
I was doing this for my friend.
Yeah. But if she doesn't see it and she's happy in that relationship, then that's her choice to make, right?
She's happy in the relationship, but she's not happy that she's losing all of her friends.
Well, then that's on her to make the choice or to realize what's happening and for her to do it. That shouldn't be your responsibility to jump in on that.
I'm always fascinated by these dynamics and by people that get trapped by these dynamics. Like I watch all the, I know this won't shock you, I watch all the documentaries about like cults and stuff like that.
Sure.
And it's fascinating to me how they get these people in.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they find the most vulnerable people.
Well, that's the only way you could be in a cult is to be, there's got to be some part of you that's super vulnerable.
They find the most vulnerable people that want to be loved and want to be accepted
or
and want to be seen.
To hear what they want to hear.
Sometimes they don't even know what they want to hear. They just want to belong.
Yeah.
Like they find the most vulnerable subsect of people. And that's what this Captain Jack has done.
Yeah.
He has found my friend who is a good person and a vulnerable person and is just like wears her heart on her sleeve and is such a good person.
Yeah.
And is just slowly isolating her and pulling her away from her support system. And I see where this is going. I do.
Yeah, but that's still on her.
I don't know what
I think it's still on her. I don't think it's your job.
I know it's not my job.
Because you have your own shit. I
do.
think that's on her.
I do.
At that point, if she's losing her friends, then she has to go, why am I losing my friends? She has to have that self-realization of like, what's happening? There's a disconnect here that I'm not seeing. What's going on?
And look, I know when you get in a relationship, your friends see less of you.
Of course,
like,
that's natural. And we get married, even less. And we have a kid, even less.
Yeah, that's
life
normal.
changes that way. Yeah,
but this is not normal.
But it shouldn't be. It's never contentious. It shouldn't be contentious. Your friend should go, I understand your relationship. I'll see less of you. But it shouldn't be contentious with the person you're in a relationship with towards your friend. You should be like, no, go have time with your friends. Keep your friend group. That's weird. Try to isolate somebody.
Truly. And I just keep going like, how do people save people from these type of situations?
The person has to, it's like, I think it's an addict. They have to want to get help. You can't help someone who doesn't want to get help or doesn't even know they need help.
Yeah.
So that your friend doesn't know she needs help or hasn't realized that she needs help. So she's not going to get help. She's not going to help herself. She has to help herself. You can't do it. It's like trying to get an addict clean who doesn't want help. You can't do it. It's not possible. And in a way, she's addicted to whatever he's throwing out there.
Yeah. I talked it over with friends and mentors and, people. And I'm just like, one of the things that I hope that our listeners might learn from, and sorry, I haven't been that funny this episode.
You had to unload it. You came in hot.
Dude, but
you warned everybody you were coming in hot.
But I think that I think people like to learn from us too. And like learn that our lives are not as easy as people would assume they are. They're very complicated.
It's so hard.
And I think one of the things that came up for me was my mentor asked me, he goes, what made you get on this call? And I said, my friend asked me to, and I was doing it for her.
Yeah.
And he goes, but before you got on this call, he goes, did you have any thoughts about taking this call or like have any like feelings or gut reactions about taking this call? I said, yeah, I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't going to go well.
Yeah.
And he goes, you should have listened to that.
Probably.
He's like, Jen, you have to start putting your oxygen mask on first and like stop messing with your peace to rescue other people.
Well, yeah, you're not gonna be able to put that together. You're not gonna be able to fix whatever's going on there. That's got to be her doing it.
That's what the pirate book's for, Eddie.
Read the fucking pirate book.
I'm excited about the pirate book because I even got told by a friend the other day. They were like, Jen, they're a reality television show producer. They go, Jen, you would be terrible on reality television.
Oh yeah.
They're like, you would get kicked off the island immediately.
No, they'd keep you on.
What?
Because people would fucking want to fight you the whole way.
No. But like the people on the island would
people
vote
want
me
to
off
watch
because
you
I'm a
the
threat.
whole way. Yeah, they'd get you off, but the producers want to keep you on.
I know. Plus, I'm like super cute. I think I was really offended. I'm like, I would be great on reality television.
No, the producers would keep you on. Everyone on the show would want you off. But that's why you would stay on.
Wait, you make it sound like I'd be the villain.
No, because you obviously know how certain people manipulate other people.
I am a truth teller.
You've done the work and you've studied up on human behavior enough to know how certain people deal with other people, and you would call those people on their bullshit and that would cause conflict.
Yeah.
Not saying you're just picking fights, but I'm just saying the way I've known you long enough to see the way you call other people out on some of their bullshit that would cause conflict.
But look, I also call myself out on my
you
bullshit.
You do. I'm not saying you don't, but I'm saying
All the
that's
time.
why you would be kept on a reality show until the end. Because it would be interesting television to watch.
The only show I'm going to be on is Love at the Spectrum at this point. I watch that show and I'm like, this is fucking honest.
I get these people.
That show is the most honest show on television. I watch that show and I am so inspired because I'm like, these people are so real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're throwing it out there.
They'll be like, I really liked Stacy, but she doesn't like dinosaurs the way I do.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is a fucking valid point.
That's a huge sticking point. If you love fucking dinosaurs and the other person does not, then fuck, it's not going to work. Not going to work.
They're just so honest. They're just people who are living as themselves. And they're like, there's no filter. And I was like, that's real.
Right.
That's the show I want to be on. Anyways.
Anyway, it's time.
Is it time?
It's time.
Let's have some levity now. So I can take another L to Alex.
Yeah, you gotta win this one.
You're like, oh, we haven't been funny. I'm cracking up over here, y'all.
Are you?
My mic's off when I laugh because
Are you laughing at me having a meltdown over here?
I'm laughing at the situation that I'm not going to speak poorly. Your friend put you in. It's weird that you put yourself out there and you really did try to like bridge everything, and it's hard to like hear you go, and this is how it ended up for me.
Right.
Yeah, I still don't know how I'm the one that got punched in the face in that situation for just simply trying to be a nice person.
Because you're a gladiator.
But it's nice.
Gladiators fight.
But
you got punched in the face.
But I appreciate you validating my experience,
fucking
Alex.
Pirate punched you in the face.
Because
it was tough to hear. I'm not going to lie.
Like tough, like what?
I just felt bad. Yeah, I'm just like, who's the shitty person we got to beat up?
Shitty person that you've got thrown in the middle of.
That's when you. But you know what? Also, you know what was a key moment when I was like, oh, this person's weird. You can always tell what a person's motivations are the first place they friend you on social media.
Oh.
Where do you think you friended me first?
LinkedIn.
Bingo.
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
Yeah. It's like the same.
Can I block somebody? If I block him on LinkedIn, is that petty?
No. LinkedIn. It's like the jackasses that
LinkedIn
post.
is like, we don't have this feature.
We don't have this. They need to now because
you're blocking people professionally.
There's fucking people on LinkedIn that post political shit now.
Mm-hmm.
It's turned into fucking Facebook. I'm like, what are you doing?
Gross.
It's a professional networking tool.
Gross.
Why are you posting shit about fucking President Orange Dip shit? Who gives a shit? Stop.
You take that post, you send it to their HR.
It's
LinkedIn.
Alex, you want the kicker?
And crazy.
He just worked on this like big project with a Cybertruck.
And I'm out.
That's all you need to know.
This is a great app, guys. Good job.
Anyway, we're playing Florida Man Friday. I read Jen's Nerdier 3 Florida Man headlines, 2 real, 1 fake. She tells me what is the fake Florida Man headline. Alex is playing along. After his big win last week.
Oh, man. Welcome back.
Here we go. Florida man arrested for stealing $3,000 worth of dirt. Florida man sneezes his intestines out of his body at a restaurant.
Nice.
Florida man asks police to hold his joint while they handcuff him. Which one of those has not happened yet? Florida man stealing $3,000 worth of dirt. Florida man sneezes his intestines out.
I'm going to go 2 gore.
You're going with the intestines?
Yeah.
And you're going with the joint? You're a winner. And reclaiming her title. Woo! Jen Sturger.
Oh, no. The audio went out.
Florida man asked police to hold his joint while he handcuffed him. Is the
I'm
fake
back,
Florida
baby.
man story.
I'm back. I'm back. Oh,
it feels good. It feels like the world's right again.
But seriously, someone's intestines came out of their body?
Yeah, sneezed him out of his ass.
Oh.
Well, he had like a hernia in his stomach and he sneezed and it came out of the hernia.
Oh, so he wasn't like, he didn't like Spaceballs himself.
No, he didn't like.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
Oh, no. Not again.
Not again.
That's what I imagined. He had a hernia. That's like,
yeah.
That's not.
But the headline sneezes his intestines out.
Man, people will do anything for clicks. Eddie, where can people find you?
At Eddie Pence on all the socials, or you can go to eddiepence.com.
Guys, you can check me out at jensturger.com or at Jennifer Sturger on all the socials. And, please drop us a line. Give us a
We should
comment
set up
on
like
YouTube.
a phone line or something.
Yeah.
Get people to leave messages.
I'll just I'll put your number on the internet.
Yeah, do that. That'd be a great idea. Please.
Alex, can we set up some kind of Google line or something for the studio?
Oh, totally.
Let's do that.
That's an easy one.
We'd love to hear from you guys.
That'd be a fun
But
idea.
please chime in the comments. Did I make the right move? Like, what do I do? I love, if you guys ever dealt with something like
I
this,
think you just walk away.
I really would like some advice.
Cut bait.
Because, clearly we're killing it over here. I'm reading books about pirates and gladiators just to understand life. But yeah, we are so grateful for you guys sharing your weeks with us and just all the support you've been giving the show. So keep sharing the clips.
Please.
Keep coming out to our shows. We love meeting you, and we're so happy that you're here.
I think it's our 1 year anniversary, or last week was our 1 year anniversary. 52? Show 52?
Happy anniversary, Eddie.
Happy anniversary. I think it might have been last week. I don't know. I don't keep track.
You didn't get me a gift.
It's like we're married.
We'll see you next week, guys, on another episode of Not Today.